Good morning, YouTube. This is Econ K88 and I'm in Toledo, Ohio, near the University of Toledo. Toledo, Ohio, the pothole capital of the world. And I had some people yesterday. This is going to be an ongoing series as I have time, highlighting, showcasing, if you will, pardon the sarcasm, the road conditions, third world country type road conditions throughout the city. This is near the university, which is one of the crown jewels, if you will, of the city. This is, I believe, University Boulevard. And if not, you folks that are familiar with Toledo area know where I am. This is University Hills. It's Douglas Road right over there, which is a complete disaster. But this is a pretty highly traveled road Monday through Friday. It is Sunday morning, and I did that purposely so I would be able to walk around out here without being hit by a car. Just take a look at this road. And the leaders of the city are going to say, and the folks who don't like to hear any criticism of the city, look at this, are going to tell you, well, we've just had a bad winter. Well, you know what? This is Toledo, Ohio, 55, 60 miles south of Detroit. It gets cold here in the winter time, folks. And it always has and probably always will. And for the last few years, we have had pretty mild winters. So, of course, rather than save for instead of rainy day, we'll call it cold and icy day. No, not our city leaders. Any money that's left in the trough, they're going to find places to spend it, ways to spend it, on either social programs or planting flowers or building parks or giving city employees raises or tearing down old buildings, which I guess that kind of makes the city look better. But I personally would rather have good roads here. Oh my goodness, this is just worse than I expected. Look at this, right? There's really no way to avoid some of these. The road literally has been reduced to gravel. And so if you live in the city and your car has been torn to pieces by these just craters in the road, while I feel bad for you, there are solutions, and one of the solutions is stop voting for the same people that you've been voting for. Start voting in people with new ideas. See if we can get up here to Douglas. There's probably some gaping holes up there as well. Again, I'm going to try to focus on some areas that I know personally are bad. And if you live in the city, feel free to either post a comment about an area that you'd like to see highlighted or send me a private message, and I'll do my best to get out there with my little YouTube camera here and see if we can further put the city leaders on blast, because they absolutely should be, pretty much all of them should be fired, because they're all responsible for the money not being spent where it should be. Douglas is just too busy to walk on. I'll drive along Douglas and hopefully the camera will show the bad conditions. And they did a partial patch on one part of Douglas, and it just looks terrible. And so now there aren't any lines in that part of the road. And it really is an embarrassment to the city. The people who are in charge here really should be ashamed of themselves. But they're not, because they have this excuse that, oh, it's been a really cold winter, and we have had a lot of snow, actually a record amount of snow. But again, the real problem is that a few years ago, they started raiding stealing, more or less, money from the Capital Improvements Fund, which is basically the roads fund, to be able to put it into the general fund, which is mostly used to pay workers' salaries and basically do whatever they want with it. So that's how they fund their little pet projects, give money to their buddies, their supporters, their donors. So start voting against these people, and definitely get on the phone, get on the email, start emailing council members. Listen to this car hitting these potholes. That guy's probably already got a broken rim, or, I mean, this person here is really brave. So you've got people that are driving through here, and I'm telling you, watch this dude. Yeah, see, he had to more or less dodge. So who knows how many accidents are going to be caused, because if you don't dodge these, you're basically going to destroy your car. So you're going to see a lot of accidents caused by this. Hopefully nobody gets seriously injured or killed, but it's just inevitable that with accidents rising too much, here's somebody else. Now watch her, she'll either swerve. Oh, she managed to dodge them. Oh, she caught one, but not one of the worst ones. So again, this is an ongoing series that I'm going to do. We need to stop them from being able to raid the CIP fund or roads fund, capital improvements fund, whatever you'd like to call it. Force them to spend the money that was supposed to have been designated to fixing roads instead of giving employees raises and spending it on various other pet projects and things that really don't help the city. And if certain city council members are not going to do that, then we need to start voting them out and putting people in office who will force these things to happen, and stop bowing down to certain groups in the city who are basically robbing the city's treasury while our infrastructure just crumbles. This is what literally crumbling infrastructure looks like. And $10 or $15 million for 1 year isn't going to really pave that much roads, but it's certainly better than nothing. And that would be, this year they're going to steal $14.1 million from the roads fund. And I believe it was the same amount last year, and the year prior to that it was, if I'm not mistaken, $10 million, but I'm not sure about that. If you are familiar with the exact amount, let me know. So again, get on the phone, call city council members, email them. Actually, calling is better than emailing because they can just delete the email. Phones, somebody actually has to staff those lines. Start calling into the local radio stations. Fred at WSPD, I hope you watch this one. And I'll soon be ready to be radio interviewed if you want me on the radio. I've just been too busy to do it up until now, but as of, beginning of next month, I'm going to be going to Florida soon, but beginning of next month, I will be able to get on the radio. So, Fred, if you do watch this, contact me again. Actually, I think I still have your cell phone number, so I will be in contact at some point. But this, look at this. This pothole here is probably about 6 feet long, 2 to 3 feet wide, probably 6 inches deep. Just a real rim buster. You can't really walk more than a few feet without seeing roads. So that's it for this one. Finally, I know I've been pretty bad about saying that and then continuing on with the video. But that's it for this one. This is Econ K88 signing off from Toledo, Ohio, near the University of Toledo, ground zero of the American economic collapse.